Hello and welcome to my channel. In this series of videos, I'll be discussing the subject of marketing. Now let's start with the basic definition of marketing. Uh, Various academicians and experts have defined marketing in a different way. I have defined marketing the way I have understood it in my 30 years of experience. So, my definition is going to be completely different than the current definitions. And of course, I'll be giving you complete justification of every term that I have used in my definition. So, I define marketing as the process of understanding customer needs, converting them into opportunities through services to achieve the overall profit objectives through customer delight. Now, let me explain why have I made this definition. Let's start with the last part, which is customer delight. Now, first, let's understand what is customer satisfaction. There is an expectation from the customer about a particular delivery from the marketer. Now, if the marketer meets the expectation of the customer, we call it as satisfaction. What is delight? Delight is much more than what is expected by the customer. So, if the marketer is able to deliver much more than the expectations of the customer, he goes into the state of delight. Let's take a few examples. In the age old days, we had to go to a bank to open an account. Then privatization of banks happened, and private banks started offering customers the service of coming to their doorsteps to open the account. Then everyone started doing it, so there was no delight in it. So private banks went to the next stage of giving internet banking, ATM banking, etc. Everyone started doing it. Therefore, it was just a satisfaction and not a delight. When the first time it is done, it creates delight. So, what did banks do? There's a bank which I don't want to name has recently offered the customers the uh, opportunity to choose their own account number. Now, we know that a lot of people believe in numerology, and having account as per your numerology will be a complete delight. So that's called customer delight. Now, here we need to understand that satisfying a customer is very easy, but delighting a customer is extremely difficult. And that is because what you do today to delight the customer becomes his basic expectation in the next transactions. So, in the next transactions, you will have to do more than what you had done earlier. And therefore, the marketing people have to be extremely innovative to find out new means of delighting the customer. The other term I've used here is overall profit objectives. Now, let's be honest, if we are talking about companies, if you're talking about marketers, profitability is a very important benchmark to understand how the marketers and manufacturers are performing. And therefore, profit making is an absolute necessity. Profiteering is a crime because you do it at the cost of someone else. But generating large number of profits is not a crime at all. So here I'm concentrating only on those companies who have a profit objectives. So my definition of marketing may not be applicable to non-profit organizations. So that's an exception as far as the application of my definition is concerned. The next term that I've used here is services. Now, a lot of people will be shocked that I've not used the word product, because in marketing we have heard product, 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 the importance of product. And here the word product does not find a place in my definition. And the reason is my experience tells me that a customer is not interested in product. What he actually interested is in what is delivered by the product. And therefore, what is delivered by the product is nothing but service. For example, a car, someone may look at it as a transportation device. So transportation is the service. Someone may look at car as a status symbol. So getting status is a service. When we define marketing in terms of services, what we need to understand is that companies or marketers which are into the same product category, when I say same product category, it means substitute products, alternative products, then all these become competitors. For example, a battery manufacturer is a direct competitor to a oil distribution company. And that is because the customer is not interested in the fuel that he uses in his vehicle. He may use a battery or he may use petrol. For him, what is important is just how the vehicle moves and not what moves the vehicle. And therefore, we talk only about service and not about the product. Let me take let me take another example. Suppose we are buying an overhead projector. So what do we do with it? We connect the laptop and we actually are going to um, show our communication or communicate with the audience. Now, suppose if some laptop manufacturer tomorrow comes up with an integrated overhead projector in his laptop, are we going to buy OHP separately? The answer is no. So we are neither buying a laptop nor an overhead projector. What we are basically buying is streaming our videos or our communication to the audience, and which itself is a service. So I hope I have convinced you that marketing is all about service and not product. Now let me talk about the needs. Now this is something which a lot of marketers do not really understand, the real need of the customer. Let me take a few examples. The mistakes that I committed while understanding the customer needs. So here I was working with one of the white goods manufacturers who wanted to enter the field of washing machines. So we did a lot of study to find out what machine should be used, and we finalized a front loaded washing machine, which of course saves a lot of power, water, powder, etc. At least that is what is claimed by the manufacturers. So at the commercial launch, we decided to take a small outlet, not an outlet, but in an exhibition, we decided to take a small place and we launched our machine. Now, here, a particular customer comes to, there were many customers, but one particular customer who I remember came to to our place, and our salespeople there explained the washing machine beautifully, how best it is suited for the customer. And the customer moved out of the stall, went to some other place and bought a washing machine. Now he was carrying a checkbook in his pocket, and checkbook is extremely important for a marketer, right? So we call it as rokdo. So rokdo is very important, and therefore I was extremely disturbed as to why and confused why this customer did not buy our machine. So I approached this person and asked him, why didn't he buy my washing machine? And the answer was a complete out of the world answer for me. He said, I have, this has to be told in Hindi. So he said, मेरे पंजाब में मेरे पंजाब में 24 ढाबे हैं और उन ढाबों में लस्सी बनाने के लिए मैं वॉशिंग मशीन ढूंढ रहा हूँ, और आपकी वॉशिंग मशीन तो फ्रंट लोडेड है, इसमें लस्सी नहीं बन सकती है. So we all thought that washing machine is used only for washing clothes, and my research showed that washing machine has 5 different applications, and this happened only after this shock that I received from this customer about a washing machine being used for lassi. So let me take one more example. I was working with one of the automobile marketers, and I was trying to do the training to salesmen. So before doing the training, I did some ghost calls at some of the dealerships, and in one particular dealership, I found that there were 3 different customers. Now, this automobile company had introduced new variants or new motorcycles, and the USP of these motorcycles were it gave 90 kilometers a liter, it had very broad tires, and it was looking aesthetically very, very attractive. So here was a customer who was in his 90s or 90s or 20s, yes, in his 20s, maybe early 20s. And immediately our salesman there in the dealership approached him and told him that this motorcycle gives you 90 kilometers a liter. It has broad tires. The kid looked at him and walked out. Then there was a second customer, a 35-year-old guy, very handsome. He had come with his wife. And generally we tell in sales that आदमी को देख के बेचा करो. So look at the personality of your target customer and then position your product in that way. So he said the product is very attractive. When you take it out in the market, people will look at you. What happened is the wife pulled him away. So even this sale didn't happen. In the third case, a very senior person, maybe in his 60s or maybe in his mid 50s, had come to the dealership, and he was again a very strong with a lot of with huge mustache and all. So was looking a Fauji, was looking from the armed forces. So immediately our salesperson pitched to him the motorcycle as something which has power, which has strength, which has speed, etc., etc. Now even he moved out. So I followed this customer and asked him why didn't he buy the motorcycle. And the answer again was an eye opener to me. He said, I'm actually planning to buy a bike for my son. Now, please understand this. The requirements of the father and the requirements of the son are going to completely be different. But here, the father is buying something. So, we have to look at the customer or this particular customer from the father's perspective. So, what does a father want? He wants a very safe bike. He wants very high fuel efficiency. So, he should have been pitched with the broad tires, with the fuel efficiency of the bike. And this is exactly that was not done. So, therefore, after combining all these experiences, I decided to make a different definition of marketing. And I hope I have been able to convince you about this definition of marketing. Thank you for watching me very patiently. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it as far as possible. Thank you. Thank you very much.